All right, everybody, it is currently November 17th. It's a Sunday, and our beef with Joe Rogan continues. Unfortunately, I don't want to have to do it to him. You know what I mean? I just going after someone like that who just has so little power over me, it hurts my soul. But he keeps saying John Jones is the GOAT. You know what I mean? That's my motivation to keep going on this podcast. Even when things suck, even when things are down, Joe Rogan. We're coming for him, dude. All all five of the followers on Spotify. We're gonna band together and we're gonna get Joe Rogan. All right, for George St. Pierre. All right, that's our motivation to keep going. But in all seriousness, John Jones did win last night, and I mean the shit just keeps piling on this November, dude. I've never had a good November. That's the thing about November. You got to prepare for it. You know what I mean? You got to hunker down. You know November's going to suck. I don't think anyone's ever had a good November besides Donald Trump. And even he's had a bad November in there. You know what I mean? Lost a good old sleeps. So I mean this November, yeah. In case you guys don't know, fucking find out I'm probably going to have to take an extra year of school. You guys don't know how hard it is to be white and middle class, all right? Sometimes you have to take an extra year of college to graduate. So yeah, you guys you don't understand the pain me and my people go through. But yeah, gonna have to take an extra year of school. John Jones one. Fucking it's just cold as shit. The Kid Leroy is still making music. I mean, could this November get any worse? Trump's kind of gay now. Who would have thought? He's a fucking I guess he is like 80 years old, so makes sense that he's kind of fucking kind of gay, but doesn't matter, dude, because this podcast is all about talking about the real shit in life, like Lesotho or Lesotho. I say Lesotho, dude, because Lesotho, um, that just doesn't sound right. You know what I mean? It's an African country too. You got to think about the way an African would say it. But and look, we are gonna get a bit into talking about some fucking race. You know what I mean? Hey, we're talking about Africa. We're talking a little bit about colonization. That's gonna happen. All right. Just know, even though I did just say that a black guy could never be the GOAT of MMA, and I named a white fighter that is Joel Jones. All right. Um. Yeah. So today's episode, we're gonna go over a little bit of the geography of Lesotho and the history of it, and then I planned a little vacation for us, just to see what's up, take us, see the sights, get an experience of the culture, all that good stuff. Um. So I think we're just gonna get into it. We're gonna start a short section about the geography of it, just some of the basics, so we know what we're getting into. Um. And I don't know. I guess I say this every episode and nothing ever comes of it, but if you do like these types of episodes, like I'd be down for another, travel vacation type shit. You know what I mean? But we're gonna do weird countries. We're not gonna do like Paris, or we could do Paris, but I don't know. I'd rather do like Lesotho. Where else would we go? What else would be interesting? Albania. You know what I mean? Just see what's up in certain places people don't think about. Because I think that's interesting. You know what I mean? Everyone's heard about Paris 10,000 fucking times. The rats in the fucking art. What you guys know about Lesotho? All right, what you know about the AIDS? All right. So Lesotho, the geography. It's a landlocked enclave of South Africa. So, yeah. If you don't know what an enclave is, it's basically a country that's surrounded entirely by another country. So there's this little dot in South Africa that is Lesotho. It's not a dot, you know what I mean? It's a decent sized country. If I had to compare it to the size of a state, I'd say, what are we thinking here? South Carolina, maybe somewhere around there. Maybe a bit bigger than South Kakalaki. Very different than South Kakalaki, as we'll find out, dude. The boys, the boys were wild. You know what I mean? After they got independence, the boys went crazy. So we'll get into that later. But It's the only country in the world that lies entirely above 1,000 meters, which is 3,281 feet. Um, and its lowest point is 1,400 meters, which is 4,593 feet. And its highest point is 3,482 meters, which is 11,424 feet. So it's the highest, like, average country in the world. Or no, it's not. But it doesn't go below 1,000 feet. But its highest point's only 11,000 feet, dude. That's not that high. Like, spoiler alert for the vacation, we're gonna be climbing that thing in a day. You know what I mean? It's a decent round trip, but I mean, pretty fucking easy. You'd think the kingdom of the sky, as they call it, would would be tougher to climb, but nah. There are some tough things about it, as we'll find out. But climbing is not one of those things. Lesotho has a very small amount of water. The country has basically like no lakes and is entirely dependent on its few rivers. It has like two main rivers. One is the Orange River, and the other's like I didn't write it down, but starts with a C. All right, look, guys, we don't need to know for our vacation what the names of the rivers are. All right, there is a few things we do need to know, and I'll get into that. But the names of the river, not important. Although the rivers are very important to the people of Lesotho. I mean, they use these things for everything. You know what I mean? If you wanted to take over Lesotho, you just build a dam upriver, and it's over. The kingdom in the sky has fallen. It's all yours now. You could do it, dude. And you get some free electricity out of it. So, yeah, the rivers, the rivers and like the river valleys make up the lowland region of the country. There's also a foothills region before you reach the true mountains. So I think I wrote it down somewhere, but it's like the western, maybe like quarter or third. That's all kind of lowland and foothills, and that's where most of the people live. The east half is pretty mountainous, and there's a few river valleys there, but I mean, and that's where we're going to be going, but not a ton of people out there. You know what I mean? And that's where you want to go. Like, you don't want to, you're not going to Lesotho to see the fucking city. You know what I mean? You're going there to see the mountains, see the village life. Dude, these dudes are black hobbits, dude. People, when that new Lord of the Rings show came out, people got mad, dude. They're like, hobbits can't be black. They can be black. All right, that's what Lesotho is. It's just black hobbits, at least out in the countryside. City's not so much, but out in the countryside, dude, they're black hobbits, dude. They're in the Shire. I hate to say, I hate to tell you, you Lord of the Rings nerds. These guys are black hobbits. Um, but where was I? We were talking about the geography. Oh yeah, the lowland and the foothills region. Yeah, like I said, highest population density by far. Um, yeah, and I already went over that part of the geography. Sorry, I'm just reading my notes. And due to its elevation, the climate is considered continental. So you know what I mean? It can get a bit dry, especially in the lowland regions. But where we're gonna be at, it's gonna be nice, slightly humid, foggy most days. It's gonna be like Twilight, dude. Twilight minus the whiny whites. Except, look, I plan the vacation, so I'm gonna be there. So there's gonna be one whiny white person. But look, you can't fucking have it all. All right, you're in Lesotho. Fucking be grateful. Be grateful you're in the Black Shire. You know what I mean? Um, but the summers, which are October to April, are considered the wet season, with the dry season being from May to September, which is winter time. And I know what you guys are thinking, all you uneducated fucking simpletons. All right, you're not a college educated man like me. You're like, oh, that's actually flipped. Yeah, it's because we're in the southern hemisphere. You fucking moron. No, I was reading that, and for a decent chunk of it, I was like, what the fuck? I was like, did these Wikipedia nerds get this wrong? Did one of these? And then I was like, no, I, I'm the idiot. Surprise, surprise. But the boys are high up. That's basically the summation of this. Which, I mean, the yeah, the boys are high up. They're chilling up there. You know what I mean? They don't get too high though. They're not like the Nepalese. You know what I mean? They're mountain people, but they're not mountain people. You know, the boys are up there. But we're gonna talk about the history and the unique history and geography. It's all just pretty unique. Um, just everything around it. God damn it. But originally it was called Basotho Land. The country was founded by King Mushushu the First in 1822. Dude, and when I read that, I just like imagine like a 19 like not even like 1950s, like a 1930s like Disney like movie with a white dude just covered head to toe in shoe polish with like a fucking Brillo pad glued to his head, being like, "I am King Mushushu." It just sounds like the most like stereotypical like Zulu fucking like African name you've ever heard in your life. Which I mean, it kind of is because I had a bit of trouble figuring this out, but this whole period was kind of chaotic due to the Zulu Wars and colonial conflicts between the British and Dutch. So I mean, this whole time, dude, this whole region, everyone was just beefing. People were just showing up, trying to kill everyone. It was wild for a while, and so this dude was took advantage of that, um, and fucking made a country. And this dude was already like the leader of his own clan within like the Zulu kingdom or something like that, and so that's how he was able to pull up and just start it. He was also able to do it by killing everyone that was already there or pushing them out or whatever. But look, nobody's perfect. And as we'll find out later, dude, us white people got to thank God he did this, all right? Because this gives us a point in the history books. You know what I mean? History books are always talking about the whites pulling up and doing shit. Mushushu, Mushushu was a savage, dude. Don't be fooled by the name, all right? Should, all right. um, but between 1837 to 1855, French missionaries invited by Mushushu the first helped develop a written language for uh, Sesotho, which I guess is their language. I think it's also the ethnic group, and we'll get into that. Actually, fuck it, I'll say it now because I don't think I have it written down. But this country is entirely one ethnic group. So, I mean, like I said, there were probably people there before, and Mushushi showed up and got fucking active, dude. He took the boys the fuck out. He didn't let anyone in. He went, yeah, he was fucking shit up. We'll say that much. But these missionaries, they helped develop the written language for this verbal language, I guess. Uh, and they had like their own town, like that was just outside of like the capital of the kingdom, and they were just like advisors and diplomats. There was a special name for it, but because it's like a medieval type of thing, it's like a not a caliphate. It started with a C. I don't know, dude. I cannot remember things that start with a C this episode. One of the rivers, the fucking special type of town these dudes lived in. But the king used these advisors and diplomats to acquire guns to fight off the encroaching Europeans and the Griqua, which is a Xhosa type of people. And when I said Mushushu got active, this is what I'm talking about. So apparently, what we think of as like black people here in America, like those people aren't really native to like southern Africa. It's actually this group of people. I think Xhosa, or maybe it's called the Khoisan or the San or something. But they're basically like these dudes that are like some people call them bush people, but they're these short ass dudes, and they're like kind of like light skinned and stuff. They don't really look like what we think of as like Africans or like black Africans. Black Africans is it's very funny because it's like you think that goes without saying, but no. But yeah, they're like these short little like hunter gatherer type people, and the black Africans. I'm sure there's a specific fucking like nerd name for them, but I don't know. And also in 20 years, that'll probably be just as offensive as saying black African. So who really cares? But yeah, they pulled up and wiped the boys the fuck out. Not entirely, you know. There's still some there, and there was also a lot of intermingling. You know what I mean? These Zosha bitches had some cake on them. But yeah, the boys pulled up, took them the fuck out. Um, just they were superior technologically, all that good shit. Um, but in the Greeka, or Greekwa, whatever, however you say it, they're kind of like a mixed race between Xhosa and Black. I don't know. I'm sure there's a special name for it, but you guys know what I mean. And also, no one's listening to this, dude. We're not even at episode 20 yet. I give myself to episode 20 before I start promoting it. You know what I mean? Guy like me, genius promoter like me, we're gonna be all over TikTok, dude, Reddit, all the social, Truth Social. I might exclusively promote this through Truth Social. I do have a Truth Social account, dude, because when Trump was banned on Twitter, I wanted to see what he was getting up to. And by the way, it's not as good. It's really, it's mostly him like selling, like what are those called? Fucking not memorable coins, but you guys know what I mean. Like commemoration coins and supplements. That's 90% of Truth Social, dude. Do not download Truth Social. Now they have my fucking email. They won't stop emailing me. Trump doesn't need my help anymore, dude. He's the fucking president, all right? Or the president elect. Which, by the way, dude, Dana White, what are we doing? When Trump shows up to one UFC fight, it's like, yo, that's fucking crazy. Every fucking UFC fight, and he brings a whole crew with him of the lamest people. Elon Musk, Vivek Ramaswamy, Tulsi Gabbard. Who the dude? UFC fans do not care about these people. Those are like Joe Rogan type people. Which, by the way, dude, the beef with Joe Rogan has started. You know what I mean? I'm gonna talk my shit. Anyone associated with Joe Rogan, come over to my side before it's too late. You know what I mean? If I just keep talking about Lesotho enough, I'm gonna overtake it. Um, Speaking of Lesotho, during the foundation of the country, of the kingdom, Boers, which are like white Africans, took over areas in the lowlands which they claimed had been abandoned. This caused Mushushu to sign a treaty with the British that gave, I think, the British the right to annex that land. And I was like, oh shit, one for the whites, because I thought that Mushushu was getting permission from the British to annex that land. No, he was like giving permission to the British to annex that land that the white Boers were on. Which Boers are like the descendants of like English and Dutch people in Africa who have been there for like at this point like 300, 400 years. So yeah, they'd been there for a while. Um, but yeah, they just pulled up and Mushushu was like, nope, nope. Um, But this caused an uprising with the Boers in 1848 that was quickly suppressed. After this, the British and Basotho fought in a series of skirmishes that ended with the British leaving the area. So, yeah. And there's not a ton of arable land in this country, like land that can be farmed, which is probably why the British left. And there's not a lot of resources. It's like there's kind of a reason that the country was never like truly conquered. It's because it kind of fucking sucks, dude. And look, dude, since we're on the topic anyway, I was thinking about this, dude. You know how people say that like the Lakota are the only people or the only Indian tribe to like beat um the US, like on US soil? I was like, dude, that's because they were fighting over the Great Plains. Like I don't think like General Custer or whatever was like a fucking a beast. I think he was like just kind of a shitty person that was like, yeah, go make him fight over that field. I don't know. What do you want us to do about it? We'll fucking figure it out sooner or later. I don't think the Lakota were fighting the fucking best and the bravest over that land. Because, dude, I'm on that land right now. The fucking you. Why would you guys do this? Talk about a swing and a fucking miss, dude. I thought I was having a swing and a miss taking an extra year of college, dude. These guys sent like thousands of people to die over the shittiest fucking piece of land. It's not even like that good for farming. But anyway, dude, enough shit talk about the Great Plains. What are the people of the Great Plains gonna do to me, dude? You're gonna fucking roll up. I live here. I know all you guys are too depressed to fucking crawl out of bed and find me. Or you're too busy farming soybeans. Um, but yeah, the boys in Lesotho, they're not farming soybeans. They're not really farming anything. They got some cattle and stuff, and this land is really unique. I think I'll talk about it when we get to the vacation though. Um, yeah, but after this, Mushushu fought another war to drive the Boers out, and I was like, dude, this is definitely one for the whites here, because the Boers, they're not like colonizers. These are dudes that have been here for like centuries. You know what I mean? And these are just kind of like regular. These guys that were in Lesotho probably didn't even have farms. So these were just kind of like regular ass dudes, and this dude just came down on them over some land that really wasn't his. So I was like, dude, this is definitely a point for the whites, dude. Look, don't call it a comeback, all right? We've been here for years. You know what I mean? And plus, we got the Moors taking over Iberia and stuff, it's not over till it's over, dude. The oppression Olympics goes on, and the whites we're coming from behind. You know what I mean? Marathon, not a race. I mean, it is kind of a there is race. um, I guess a marathon is a race. Whatever. In 1868, Basotho land officially became a British protectorate, and with the death of Mushushu in 1870, it officially became a colony. So I guess that was like part of the deal that he made with them. Um, was that when he died, it would become a colony. But people fought against colonial rule because it was a lot more like oppressive, and the British had a lot more power than they thought they would, and so they fought back in 1881, which caused the British to become more lax with their rule, and Basotho land was allowed to be ruled by their own tribal chiefs with a presiding British governor. So it seems like it's hard to gauge how much like power the British had, and I was thinking about this too, dude. The British are like the goats of colonization. You know what I mean? Like, there's no flashiness. There's no, like the Spanish conquistadors with like those fucking ridiculous helmets and armor and shit. No, dude. The British just sent like 85'2" dudes to just plunge fucking like bayonets into people. There's no flashiness with it. They're the big fundamental, dude. They're like, if Tim Duncan was the goat, that would be the British Empire. You know what I mean? It was just pure fucking efficient savagery. But yeah, and so it's kind of hard to gauge. It's like, were they oppressing them? Kind of, but as we'll see, the British must have played a big role because Basotho land gained independence in 1966, and in 1970, a civil war broke out due to the prime minister refusing to cede power. In 1986, that prime minister that refused to cede power was overthrown, and a ceremonial king, or a king who was kind of formally ceremonial, took his place for like the time being. Like, he was supposed to be like a transitional leader, and this was Mushushu the second, which I guess the kings just had different names, um, because this is the second one, and he lived until 1995, as we'll find out. Dude, it's pretty funny how this dude died. Um, but he took the place of the prime minister for like a transitional period, but he was exiled a year later for trying to seize more power. And I was like, dude, monarchs are gonna monarch. You know what I mean? It's like if you get like a hunting dog and it like keeps bringing dead animals to your door. It's just what he's gonna do. He's gonna try to get more power. You know what I mean? He just saw the fucking British, the ultimate monarchs. He's looking up to them. You know what I mean? Those are his Michael Jordan, his Khabib, the goat, or GSP, the goat. You know what I mean? And so he was like, "Fuck it, I want that shit too," but didn't work out for him. The king's son, Letzi the Third. This guy is the son of Mushushu the Second. Took power in 1992, and then this motherfucker, he tried to perform a coup to get his father back in power. This failed, and in 1995, Mushushu died in a car. I put accident in quotes when his car flew over the edge of a cliff. Dude, and the government's story on this is so funny. They clearly just like killed this dude and put him in a car and pushed him over a cliff. Because like he went out. The story is that he went out to check his cows and got in his car and just drove off a cliff. Dude, the CIA, the CIA, dude. People talk about how obvious it is when like the CIA kills people. This is the African CIA is wildin', dude. The Lesotho CIA is out of their goddamn minds. They just put this dude in a car and pushed him over a fucking cliff. Absolute dog. So you got to give it to him, because if you want to make sure someone's dead, you do it like this. But yeah, he like woke up in the middle of the night to go check on his cows, and they said he just like drove off a cliff. It's very funny. But yeah, the boys were wildin'. And there was like a lot more like protest and civil unrest and stuff. But yeah, and from 1998 to 2014, saw more civil unrest and electoral struggles. So it's like a lot of like, people like refusing to cede power, uh, people like saying that they won elections that they didn't, like shit like that. And it's just, yeah, not super well set up. But in 2022, Lesotho elected Sam Matekane, something like that, to be prime minister. Leslie the Third is still their ceremonial monarch. And I was like, this is just kind of meh. You know what I mean? Like it's not like the worst country, especially in Africa, but it's not the best either. And this dude who's the president, they're like, yeah, he's like corrupt, and he does own a diamond mine, but it's not like a Sierra Leone diamond mine. You know what I mean? The diamond mines are treating him alright, but today Lesotho relies on its rivers for exporting, importing, as well as hydroelectricity, which is I guess where they get most of their electricity from. And they're building more and more dams every year. Like they've been working on like a 20-year project, which might not ever get done because you know what I mean. This dude's a diamond miner. It doesn't really get more savage than that. You know what I mean? This guy's pocketing everything, dude. Let's be honest. Those dams probably aren't getting done, but I mean, they got a couple dams, so you can't be too upset. But Lesotho is poor in natural resources, but has a diamond mine with the highest carat to dollar ratio in the world. Which it, that to me either means that it's a really good diamond mine, which is probably not, but that the workers are getting paid a decent wage. You know what I mean? They're not full on slaves. So yeah, Lesotho. And we did miss a major event that we'll talk about when we're talking about vacation time. All right, because this is very important for vacation time. But yeah, Lesotho, they're not doing awful. They're not doing great. You know what I mean? They're like trying to think of like a football team that's like consistently mid. I don't know. The Texans were asked for a couple years there. I'm trying to think. Is there any? They're kind of like the Oakland Raiders of this shit. You know what I mean? Like they kind of fucking suck, but at the same time, it's not as bad as it could be, or as bad as it once was. So I'd say yeah, fucking Letzi the Third and Sam Matekane, they're kind of like the Oakland Raiders of this shit. Um, but look, vacation time is finally here, dude. I know. You guys were wondering what's going on, how's it going on? Um, and it's going on. Dude. Lesotho, let's talk about it. Let's get into some prereqs here. You know what I mean? I'm in college mode. I'm in registration mode. We're talking about fucking prereqs. So, Lesotho is considered to be a medium risk country for crime. They said the thing said there's not a lot of violent crime, but there is a decent amount of petty crime, and I feel like that's mostly in the cities too. You know what I mean? And look, let's call a spade a spade. We're gonna be getting scammed at some point or another on this trip. You know what I mean? We're gonna buy some like trinket from somebody, or like a shirt, or like some kid with no fucking leg is gonna come up to us, and then we find out that they chopped off his leg just for him to do that. But it doesn't matter, dude. All right, that's what's gonna happen when you're on vacation. You know what I mean? The king is gonna try to take power and then get thrown off of a cliff, and we're gonna get scammed by some fucking African kids. That's life, all right. If you didn't want it, don't show up. Um, but people with U.S. passports do not need a visa to visit as long as their stay is under 180 days. And the country does have a U.S. embassy, which I mean that's good for us, dude, because we could be getting into some trouble here. Not too much trouble, you know what I mean? But as we'll see later, that there is some ability to get into trouble. But um, a yellow fever vaccine is recommended, but not needed. And honestly, apparently that vaccine is mostly for if like you're traveling outside of Lesotho, because a lot of the diseases you have to get vaccinated for in those countries are like due to like the tropical climate and shit. And as we already established, the boys got a continental climate up there. You know what I mean? They're chilling. So yeah, you don't got to get nothing crazy, but yellow fever, dude. What happens if you get yellow fever? Do you grow buck teeth and your eyes get smaller and you go, oh, oh. Okay, dude. Talk about a swing and a miss. And yellow fever isn't the only thing you got to be worried about there. Look, dude, I love the Black Queens as much as the next guy. All right, but if you want sniz, you bring it into this country and you keep a close eye on it because apparently Lesotho got hit hard as fuck by the AIDS epidemic. You know what I mean? At one point, like the life expectancy in the country was like below 40. The dudes got hit hard by AIDS. You know what I mean? And so, I mean, look, I get it. In an exotic place, you can engage in like the most famous African tradition of abandoning your family. Don't do it, dude, because this is a place where karma will bite you in the ass. All right. Um, look, it's always all jokes, dude. But no one's listening to this, so I don't really have to care. But yeah, do not get local snus. Don't even bring it in from South Africa. You know what I mean? If you want a black queen in Africa, you got to bring her from America or somewhere else. You know what I mean? Cannot cannot get the local snus here. But be prepared to stop at least 3 times if you're flying straight into Lesotho from anywhere in America. And I was looking at it, dude. We're probably gonna have to fly to Dublin first, then to like Abu Dhabi, then to Johannesburg, South Africa, and then we can finally get into the only like international airport in Lesotho. So it's gonna be a tough ride on the way there. But look, dude, good things only come to people who work for them, or whatever the fuck that saying is. Um, and look, I didn't Google any pictures of this airport, but I recommend you just keep your eyes closed and look forward because I feel like it's not the most well maintained airport, and I feel like that could be scary. And look, the roads we're gonna be driving on too. They also drive on the left side of the road. You're gonna want to keep your eyes closed for most of this trip. All right. It's just a good policy. You don't get scared. You don't identify any good sniz. You know what I mean, and then end up getting AIDS. You just fucking keep your eyes closed. Look forward. Dude. You need some horse blinders on. Uh, and look, on this trip, I imagined money is no object. You know what I mean? If you're going to Lesotho, you got that money to begin with, unless you're from like South Africa or some shit. And if you're from South Africa and you're listening to this, fucking what's up, dude? If you're from anywhere other than the state of Kansas and you're listening to this, I would be incredibly surprised to learn that knowledge or to learn that fact, learn that knowledge, dude. That's how you know my brain's kind of not working as well as it should be anymore. But this episode should be under 50 minutes, so it's not going to be the usual me blanking for 30 seconds, even though we already have had a couple of those episodes, dude. I mean, like, not like show episodes, but like mental episodes. Look, dude, I'm going through a lot of shit right now, all right? The Steelers might lose today. John Jones won. I'm going to have to go to college for an extra year. It's my brain, it's a bit overwhelmed. And look, that's why this episode isn't going to be fire, but that's life, dude. Damn. Um, but yeah, we're gonna have to stop a lot. But the country is beautiful. It looks like the Plains region in Avatar, the video game, which is a very niche reference because I feel like a lot of people didn't buy that game. But I fucking love the Avatar movies. The Blue Monkey people, not the hot water bending chick. Look, dude, hot when I was a kid, not obviously not now, dude. Okay, relax. Guys aren't allowed to have fun anymore. um, um, the country is beautiful. It's this weird, like it's mountainous, but it's like there's no trees. You know what I mean? It's like scrubland. There's not like a ton of forest. It's really cool looking. I'm probably gonna leave a link in the description of this episode. And I think part of the not having trees that makes it so beautiful is that you can just see everything. And like most places that don't have trees, they're pretty like flat, open. They're the same color, but like here you got like rolling hills, like canyons, mesas. Not mesas, but you guys know what I mean. It's very cool looking. Um, but yeah, it's surreal. And so we're gonna be talking about where we're staying. And this part right here, I figured we could do it at the beginning, but it might be better to do it at the end. You know what I mean? After thinking about it, after looking over our itinerary, I think it's better if we um do this beginning part at the end because we're gonna be doing a lot of hiking, a lot of driving. It's gonna be tough on the body, but it's gonna be worth it. But I think a nice rest at the end before you go home, before you stop 18 times on the way home is gonna be nice. But a 1 bedroom lodge is $57 a night. But dude, we're in Lesotho. We're getting the big lodge, all right? There's a lodge that sleeps 8, and I was like, an African 8 is probably like an American like 6 or even a 4, dude. So look, it's not. We can get 8 in there. Might be a little crowded, but that's where we're gonna be staying. We're staying at the River Lodge. All right. This shit actually looks like some Lord of the Ring type shit, dude. Like full Shire. You know what I mean? It's got like a thatch roof, but it's nice as hell inside. And like this little area we're staying at, we got like a spa. We got like food or a buffet or whatever. You know what I mean? We can chill there for a couple days after all our hiking. Maybe a safari. But yeah, that's where we're gonna be staying for the end of this. And most of the places along the way, we're gonna be sleeping in huts. All right, but look, you're getting a taste of the local life. Not a taste of the local life in the way you want to, in the way fucking I know I would want to, but we're getting we're getting another taste of it. Um, but and there is a casino nearby, and I was like, dude, I know there's at least one person listening to this who really wants to go to that casino. But if a regular casino is fucking like corrupt and scams you, dude, an African casino, they're gonna rob your fucking pale lily white ass blind, dude. Gonna take everything you have. We are not going to the African casino. All right, we got other shit to do. All right, we're getting active, and by the end of this, dude, you're not gonna have the energy to gamble. You know what I mean? We're gonna be doing a lot of hiking. Uh, but that's just that's some relaxing time. And I think we'll do it at the end. I think doing that at the beginning, you know what I mean? At the beginning of a vacation, you got all that energy and shit. You know, you're ready to go. At the end, you're like, why am I still here? What are we even doing? You know, the end is near, but some relaxing time is nice. Relaxation time is nice. Okay, our first destination is the Maletsun Maletsunyane Falls. I don't know how the fuck you say it, but it's a 630-foot waterfall that leads into a massive canyon with amazing hiking. Um, and there's like other tourist stuff along the way. So the place where that spa and hotel is, and the place where the airport is, that's kind of in the western half of the country. Like I said, this is kind of more towards the central side. And there's like tons of huts around there and shit. I think Lesotho's trying to get their tourist game on point. And look, dude, I was looking at like some of the tourist pictures. I was on TripAdvisor. We're probably going to be the only honkies on this trip. All right, but look, that's life. All right, you go to Africa, you're not expecting honkies, even in South Africa. You know what I mean? You're expecting mostly urban people, people that look like they could live in a city. You know, people that look like they're good at basketball. Okay, it's not even funny. It's just racist. It's just that's just me playing with death. You know what I mean? And by death, I mean maybe getting kicked out of a liberal arts college that I'm already gonna leave. But all right. So that's our first stop. Beautiful waterfall. We got a canyon. And look, when we land in the western half of the country, we might do a safari, we might not. But I was thinking, dude, you know, you can do a safari anywhere in Africa. But like this shit, these views, that's only in Lesotho. So I think we're gonna skip the safari for now. We might do a safari on the way. Like if we land in Johannesburg, you know, go out into the country, do a safari real quick. But honestly, the zoos are sicker anyway. You know what I mean? I prefer zoos. The animals are all on drugs all the time. That's a very funny thing to learn about zoos, that all the animals are constantly on ketamine. Not a fun drug. If I worked at a zoo, dude, just one day I'd get too bored and I'd be like, what if I didn't give these dudes ketamine? What if I gave them cocaine? You know what I mean? Or like Adderall or something. I'm trying to see what happens with these lions, with these tigers, with these bears. Oh my. But that's what I would do if I worked at a zoo. Which, dude, of all the things you could do while working at a zoo, I don't think that breaks like the top 10 worst things you could do. You know what I mean? You could be selling animals, you could be fucking animals, you could be killing animals and selling like their feathers and pelts and shit. Giving animals a little bit of cocaine, it's not that bad. You know what I mean? Giving an orangutan a bump, not the end of the world. Maybe the orangutan would finally talk, dude. Maybe it would lose its composure and it would show us its true self. But that doesn't matter. All right, next we're going to the Gates of Paradise Pass, which provides an uninterrupted views of the like valleys and mountains in like the little hobbit type villages below. And also there were some pictographs along the way, like some cave paintings, and I thought it would be funny like if those were just like painted by like the people who own like the tour company or whatever. They're like, dude, fucking, they're not gonna know the difference. Just get them up there, because that's definitely something I would do. Um, but yeah, the pass. We're gonna be looking at mountains, little villages down below. It's a it's a decent hike. Looking at the people in the pictures, I think we got this. You know what I mean? But finally, we are going to climb uh Thabana Nitlanya Nitlanyana. Whatever. We're gonna climb the tallest mountain in Lesotho. Uh, and it's the tallest mountain in the Drakensberg mountain range, which goes from like Lesotho through South Africa and stuff. Um, we're gonna be climbing that bad boy. So we're day tripping this, all right? Look, you can go on like a 2 day trip and climb the mountain or whatever, or you can just drive straight up to it. It's an 18-mile round trip, which look, that's tough, but very doable. Especially if you got good shoes on. It's not that high up in the air. We got this. Uh, but the hike is roughly 18,000 or 18 miles long. Damn. Uh, and in total features an elevation gain of about 7,000 feet. Uh, the view is the real prize. You know what I mean? There is a decent chance that it's going to be foggy and we're going to miss everything. But if we don't, it's a pretty beautiful view up there. Um, but yeah, I think that's it for our trip to Lesotho. There's also like safaris, museums, and other cultural experiences that would take too much time to list. We can't get it all done. And damn, we only got 41 minutes on this episode. I'm gonna have to talk for 8 minutes straight, dude. Get prepared for some more Down syndrome talk, boys, because that's all I've got in the tank for 8 minutes left. Because I got to get at least 50 minutes for the regular episodes. You know what I mean? But yeah, things to talk about. College is so gay, dude. Because like, how the fuck am I gonna have a 4.0 GPA and I'm still not gonna graduate on time? Why the fuck are liberal arts college so different from every other fucking college? Look, what do I have to complain about? You know what I mean? It's fine. But yeah, and an extra year of college, dude. That's just an extra year of or an extra year of life I don't have to work. I might just do college for the rest of my life. That is what some people do, dude. Some people get like PhDs when they're like 40 and shit, or like they work from like the time they're 18 till they're 40 or whatever to get PhDs. So I might just do that, dude. I might get a PhD in and just the most in art appreciation, dude. That's the class I've always done well in. I've always been great at appreciating art and music, or at least pretending like I do. Which, by the way, dude, you want to talk about some esoteric bullshit? Art. But fuck that shit, dude. Give me a sick ass paint. Give me a painting of Lesotho, dude. That should be the most famous painting. It is very sick looking. Like it kind of looks like Scotland, if you guys know what I mean. Like it's flat. There's not a lot of trees. It's kind of foggy all the time. But because it's not like near the ocean, the view goes on forever. It's very sick looking. And it's not like I've been to Colorado. It's not really like that either. Because Colorado, like the Rockies, there's like pretty well forested and stuff. This it's not like that. It's crazy looking. Uh, like I said, I'll post a link down below to see it. But yeah, it's pretty fucking wild looking. I know this episode wasn't the greatest. I know I paused a lot, but yeah, I'm just spending my mental energy thinking about other shit. You know what I mean? I know I should be completely ignoring everything else in my life and diving fully into this podcast, but yeah, damn it, dude. No serious talk. We got to keep joking. Um, but yeah, fuck. I have nothing else to say. You know what I mean? What else do I have to say? Charles Oliveira, not it, dude. He's not going to be Islam. I'm saying it right now. Islam is the champ until he retires. I need him to be the champ until he retires, dude, and not get popped for steroids, which he's clearly on. Dude, all can we be honest here? All like these foreign fighters are on steroids. You think the United States like testing company or whatever, drug testing agency is going to like the mountains of Dagestan to check to see if people are on steroids. You're out of your fucking mind. No, they're not. So yeah, all those guys are on roids, but so is everyone else in the UFC. You know what I mean? But enough with the UFC talk. We got to what, 45 minutes? That's good enough. All right. With the amount of shit I had to put up with this week and the amount of shit, dude, I have to write a 6-page fucking paper. It's due on Wednesday. I do have the outline and a couple paragraphs done, but god damn, is that shit gonna suck. But yeah, this episode, obviously not great, but I give it a Lesotho out of 10. You know what I mean? Not great, not the worst. Could be better, but um yeah, that's all I've got. Hope you guys have a wonderful day, wonderful week, wonderful year, life, wherever you're at. Yeah, and hopefully I'll see you guys Wednesday or maybe next Sunday. Who knows? All right, thank you guys so much.